How are you? This is Faith at Faith and Books. I'm going to vlog a little bit this week, I think. It is Saturday morning. My hair is dirty. I need to take a shower. But I got up. I read some of the Everlasting Man. I did some of my discussion homework for my class, which is very time consuming, my least favorite part. And I made the grandson breakfast and ate a little myself, though I'm really low on groceries. So I'm about to go grocery shopping. I'm also recently got re-energized to avoid more plastics because I've been reading about microplastics, how we eat a credit card worth of plastic every week. Something crazy, and it's now starting to get tied to health issues. They're just starting to research it. But we have polluted the whole world with microplastics. They find it in the ocean. They find it up in the mountains. It's everywhere. It's in our blood. It's in our lungs. It's in our brains. They think we have about a teaspoonful of plastic in our brains. So I'm trying to avoid plastic. And I'm sort of for Lent. So Lent starts Wednesday. That's Ash Wednesday. I'm giving up sugar. I'm going on a sugar fast. So I'm going to buy things I can munch on that aren't sugary but aren't too junky for me, because I have been, since Halloween, I've been eating way too much sugar, way too much. It is not good for me. And I'm going to the doctor's on Monday, which is President's Day, and I'm just afraid that he's going to say I'm pre-diabetic or something because I've been eating so much chocolate. So anyway, I'm going on a sugar fast. I'm also going to fast from YouTube, but I'm just curtailing things. I'm only allowing myself 40 minutes a day. So kind of coinciding with the 40 days of Lent. I got that idea from Father Mark Goring. He's a Canadian priest. He's wonderful. He's got a YouTube channel. And I'm also going to what's the word I want? Just intentionally try to avoid plastic because I get too lazy. It's really out of laziness, and I lose focus, and then I just start relying on, single-use plastic stuff. And it's not only bad for the earth, but it's bad for us. So I'm going to go shopping, and on the way, I'm going to drop off our glass recycling. Okay. So we have had snow on the ground for more than a month. And that's not usual for this area. Sometimes it snows, sometimes it doesn't snow. But then it melts in a few days, or at least a week. But we've had it. It's been so cold here. Tomorrow it's supposed to get warm. So, yeah. And it's warmer. I think today it's supposed to get warmer. Anyway, these are the purple bins that I put the glass in, that I recycle the glass in. One bad thing is that people get really careless. And look at all this broken glass. People are slobs. But here's my glass, and I have more. I use this old diaper bin to hold the recycling. And yeah, so I'm just going to put it in there. It's going to make a terrible breaking noise, which I can't stand. So I do it as fast as I can, although I try not to break any glass. Yeah, and then this is just down the road, about 5 minutes from the grocery store I usually go to. Okay, more about avoiding plastic. I just bought this. This is Primals. I have a problem with bamboo toothbrushes. I've tried them in the past. It was a while ago and I'd forgotten about it. But they bother my mouth. So I'm trying them again. And what I think I need to do is get a child size instead of an adult size. And I think that might work better for me. But the thing is that these are boar bristles. And I guess if you're vegan, you wouldn't like that. But I feel like they clean better than the plastic. And it turns out that we eat a little bit of plastic every time we brush our teeth. So, because it's the plastic bristles, and then you're shoving this plastic thing in your mouth. So I've just started this. I got one for each member of the family. We'll see if they actually use it. And then I'm using these, the toothpaste tablets. I'm starting up with these. I started using the regular toothpaste because my teeth, I drink so much coffee and tea that they get brown. I'm getting older. My teeth are all brown and crooked looking. I really don't like it. So I switched to that, but I don't have to do that all the time. So I'm going back to this, and I'm about to go get my teeth cleaned anyway in a week. So they'll be nice and white, and I can use these. So, and this is fluoride free. And probably lots of people really think we should have fluoride in our toothpaste. We have it in our water, and I remember doing research a long time ago that said that fluoride it impacts your thyroid. And they estimated that this very small percentage of people would have thyroid problems because they're just more vulnerable to having fluoride in the water. Well, it turns out that Synthroid, last I checked, this was a while ago, was the second most prescribed medicine in the U.S. There might be a connection there with the fluoride. Now, I think fluoride does help the teeth. So I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. To me, it's to go off and on with it. You know, sometimes you do some fluoride, and then other times you avoid it. I don't know. I don't know what the solution is. It's still Saturday. It's the 14th. It's Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day. I don't really care about Valentine's Day, so it's not a big deal for me. But it's now 1:45. I don't know where my husband went. He took the car and he went somewhere. I've gotten back from the store. I put all my groceries away. I ate some lunch. I talked with my husband. I laid down for a little bit and watched a video. And now I took a shower and my hair is dripping wet, and I'm going to clean the house because my house is really, really dirty. So, but I just thought I would talk about this and my campaign against plastic. So I watch my 5-month-old granddaughter. She's on formula, and of course it's in a plastic container, and it used to have a little plastic scoop. And, I would hold her in one arm, and then I would take the scoop, and I would scoop up, and then I would scrape it along this to level it, because it says a level, loosely packed level for 2 ounces, one of those scoops for 2 ounces. And so that's what I was doing. But, when you rub plastic, it's shedding microplastics. So I'm like, there's probably already microplastics in this, and I'm giving her more. So I threw that away and I started to use this, which is the same. I measured it. It's the same amount. And if I need to level it, I just use a table knife. And I just bought, because I was using a plastic bottle, I just bought this glass. It still has something inside of it. I got to take it out and clean it. But this is glass with a silicone, wrapped around it to keep it easy to hold. This is still plastic here, but this is silicone right here, so hopefully that's not too bad. And yeah, so I'm just gonna have a glass bottle with me now instead of a plastic one, and I'm at least gonna use a metal scoop instead of the plastic one, and scraping it on the plastic. I'm gonna level it with a knife instead. Maybe it's a little better. I don't know. It makes me feel better. I feel like when I feed her, I'm not feeding my little baby granddaughter microplastics. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. But I'm just doing little things to just sort of decrease the exposure. Good morning, everyone. It is now Sunday morning, and I'm sitting here still in my robe. We went to church last night, so we're not going to go today. I did not sleep well, and so I'm probably just going to work on my term paper and nap all day and eventually cook dinner. But I did want to talk about this book, The Kellys and the O'Kellys, which I finished a few days ago. I listened to it mostly. This is me. This is part of my project to work through the trollop books that my mother had. And so this was one of them. This is the second book that he wrote. It's much lighter than the first book, which is a real tragedy. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Yeah, it was really, really, it's about these 2 men, and they're both marrying women with money. And they actually like the women that they want to marry, but they really need the money too. And so it just contrasts these 2 couples. One's sort of a lower class, and lower in the social status, and the other couple is higher. It was amusing, and the characters are, there's characters that are not likable, but there are characters that are likable. Most of them are likable. I really enjoyed it. Set in Ireland. And the woman who read the book, Flo Gibson, she was excellent. Really, really good reader. So yeah, so I really enjoyed that. So I think that is my second trollop of the year. And now I'm on to reading The Three Clerks. I'm listening to it on audio, but I also have the book. I'm going to run out of Audible books that are the ones that my mother owned. And then I'm going to have to start reading the actual books. But I find I really like listening to Anthony Trollope on audio. And he's perfect to listen to while I'm doing housework or cooking. So I'm enjoying it. So yeah, so I finished this book. I'm very, very happy about that. So, all right, talk to you later. So still the same day, Saturday. It's, well, you can see what time it is there. It's about 8:25 in the morning. And I put on the tea kettle. It's going to whistle soon. And I just thought I'd show you. I'm going to work on my term paper until I get too sleepy, and then I'm going to take a nap. But I thought I would just show you some of the resources I'm using, which it's kind of interesting to me anyway. So I got this Bible here, and it's the New American Revised Edition, and it's large print. So it's a little bit bigger. Though it's got little fancy curly cues, and it's on very thin paper. So while it is a little bit larger and in some ways easier to read, I don't know if it quite makes it easy for me to read anyway. But I'm enjoying this, and what's nice about this is, here, let me go. At the end of the book, instead of having the commentary at the bottom of the page, which I like too. It's a little easier to go up and down. But I kind of like to go to read the book of the Bible, whatever we're studying, and then go to the end and just read through the comments and the footnotes. They have that at the end of each of the books. And then at the beginning, let's see. Like, here we go. It'll have an introductions section too. So biblical novellas. So let's see what they call biblical novellas. Tobit, Judith, Esther, Maccabees. So Job. So anyway, so this is one that I'm using a lot as a resource. And then the other Bible that we just got that is kind of amazing. I had put off getting this. I'd heard about it, but I already have two versions of this Bible, not with the commentary though. But so I just didn't want to get another revised second edition Ignatius Bible. But my husband actually has started taking a class. My husband's Jewish, but he's taking a class at our church, at our parish. And this is the book that they recommended. So we got this one, the Ignatius Catholic Study Bible, Old and New Testament. And this is so wonderful. It was edited by Scott Hahn, who's a big name in Catholic theology, and Curtis Mitch. I think they worked on this for 23 years or something like that. And it's really excellent. So the way it's set up, I think it's pretty easy to read. And it's got commentary at the bottom there. Really, really helpful. Really helpful. So, yeah, and they have they'll have a word study. Can you see that? There's a word. Oh, there's my kettle. Hold on a second. I'll be right back. And I just wanted to mention, because of the no plastics thing, trying to avoid microplastics, that this brand, the Republic of Tea, this is what I'm drinking, does not put plastic on its tea bags. It doesn't use plastic at all. So, yeah. So if you want to avoid microplastics in your tea, this might be the brand for you. And it feels a little pricey, but you actually get 50 tea bags in here. And you get this little tin that you can reuse or you can recycle. So, yeah, so I recommend this tea. And I love this double green matcha tea. It tastes good. I'm not a big green tea person, but I like this one. And when I'm really sleepy in the morning, sometimes I'll have a cup of this. So in addition to my very early morning coffee. Anyway, I was talking about this, the Catholic Study Bible. And they have these word studies. Let me see if I can find one. Oh, look, here's a little map. A little map in there. So yeah, I really like the setup of this Bible. They'll have like commentary in like sections like that. And I was showing you they have word study where they'll just go into the particular meaning of the word. Now I can't find it again. And then they also have introductions to the books, to each book of the Bible, like that. And the only thing, I mean, it's so big and hefty, but Bibles are like that. But I wish it had ribbons. I like using those ribbons. Oh, here's a word study. Yeah, on the word virgin there. Is this what? Isaiah. Yeah, so I really though, this is just a real benefit. It's used a lot in my theology class. A lot of people cite from this Bible. So yeah, so this is a really good addition. And then I already had a couple Christmases ago, my husband gave me the whole set of these Navarre Bible commentary. It's text and commentaries, lots of commentary. From the University of Navarre in Spain. This is really, really nice. I thought they only had New Testament stuff, but they don't. So I would like to get the Old Testament set too, because this is really, really well done. And I'm really enjoying using it. And my term paper is on 1 John, the first epistle of John, which may or may not have been an epistle. Yeah, so that's the one. That's the one I'm studying. So, so I also like this as a Bible. And then I've also, when doing Old Testament things, I have been using this. This is a Tanakh, the Holy Scriptures. This is the Hebrew Bible. And it's divided into 3 sections. It's got the Torah. And then, let's see, that's the Torah. Then the next section is called the Nevi'im, and it's the prophets. So those are all the different books. The prophets, they've got all the major prophets and the 9 minor prophets. And then the last section is called I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this right or not, the Ketuvim, I don't know. But it's the writings, so that's got the Psalms, Proverbs, Job, the Song of Songs, Ruth, Lamentations, Ecclesiastes, Esther, Daniel, Ezra, Nehemiah, 1st and 2nd Chronicles. So, and what's so interesting, I noticed in the back here that one of the translators for the Ketuvim, the writings, is Chaim Potok, or Potok, however you say his name, the guy who wrote The Chosen, and My Name is Asher Lev. You see, there's his name. So he actually worked on this translation. So this has been a good resource too. And then I'm using online resources. I'm using the Catholic Commentary Online, and it's called the Catholic Commentary on Sacred Scripture. And I got this used, and I don't know if I got it from Thrift Books or where I got this, maybe just off of Amazon used. But this is the Epistles of John, the Yale Anchor Bible. And this is written by, notes and commentary by Raymond Brown, who was a very popular, well-known theologian, very respected this is from 1982. I think he's kind of fallen a little bit out of favor. I've read his explanation about who the author of the first epistle of John might be. And I mean, I mean, what do I know? He's way, way more learned than I am. But I read that, and then I read in the Catholic Commentary, Scott Hahn's take on it. And I really thought Scott Hahn made more sense to me than this guy. But anyway, I'm gonna draw from him in my term paper. So yeah, so and the only other thing that maybe I'll show you is how I'm writing the term paper. What I'm doing is I got this nice wooden box and these really big index cards because I'm older and my handwriting is more and more sprawling and I like things spread out. So these are the really big ones. And this is kind of like for recipes or something, or even to hold mail or something. I just feel like it could have other use. And what I'm doing is I'm going through and making notes. I've just started. And then I have something for each section of my outline. So my outline has 6 parts. So I have 6 cards and I'm just going to stick in all my notes in each of these. So that's how I'm doing it. I'm sure this is extremely old-fashioned. This is how we used to do it, how I used to do it back in college, like 40 years ago when I wrote my last term paper. That's how we did it. And so I'm just going to do it that way. All right, talk to you later. Wish me luck. Okay, it's now 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's Sunday. I think I said earlier it was Saturday. It's Sunday today. It feels like a Saturday because we're not going to church, but we went last night. Anyway, I just thought I would talk about books instead of just plastic. And so, first of all, I did participate in the Little House in the Highlands read-along for the Laura Ingalls Wilder Readathon that's hosted by Lizzie Faye Loves Books, and also Lindsay Reads also co-hosted. And I was able to participate in the live a little bit, but that day I just had a headache off and on all day. And it started at 8:30 at night, and I'm like collapsed at night. So I really couldn't stay on. My head was starting to really hurt. And we were hoping to get Melissa Wiley to come to the live, and she said she would. I hadn't talked to her for 11 years. I messaged her on Facebook, which I never go on anymore, but I still have the message app. Or whatever it is. I don't know if it's an app. Anyway, yeah, it is an app. Anyway, she did not come, but I don't think. I left early. Maybe she came in at the last minute. I don't know. But anyway, I did not finish this yet. I'm this far through. I'm on the chapter called the Fairy Spindle. It's just charming, though. I highly recommend it. You really learn about, I love all the domestic details. I just love it. And just picturing the way they lived back then. It's just really, really charming, really well researched, very well written. I really like it. So I'm still reading that. And then I am buddy reading Between the Woods and the Water by Patrick Leigh Fermor. I'm still doing that with my sister. That's this one here. Oops, oh, I touched it. And enjoying it very much. I'm 54%. We're supposed to talk about it. I don't know, maybe we'll talk tomorrow because tomorrow's President's Day, so she's not working. She's a school teacher. So I'm hoping we can talk about it. I'm really enjoying it. He's talking about Hungary and Romania, and I just don't know enough about those two countries, so it's really, really new to me. The names are strange. I don't really know the history, but I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it very much. And then, of course, I'm reading The Everlasting Man for the Theology Book Club, and that's going along very well. I'm really enjoying my reread. Some people are just starting. I think some people are struggling a little bit, but I think he's wonderful. I thought it was a wonderful chapter. It was Chesterton's takedown on pagan religions, and he's just so insightful. And then I just started reading this, and this is for my term paper, Jesus and the Dead Sea Scrolls, rather. Jesus and the Dead Sea Scrolls by John Bergsma. And that's the 3rd book there. And I just started reading that. That's really interesting. I was reading it because I wanted to get a sense of, what that culture at that time was thinking about in terms of the Messiah, like what was going on. So, and then this last book that you can only see a little bit of, that was an inspiration from Miranda Mills, I watch her channel, and she did one for books to read for Valentine's Day. And this one sounded good. It's The Morning Gift. Wait, let's see if I can get to the... I haven't read it yet, but I'm looking forward to, when I'm done with the Furmore book, I'm going to, let me see if I can find the cover. Yeah, The Morning Gift by Eva Ibbotson. I've heard her name before, and I've never read anything by her, so I'm curious to read it. And I don't always agree with Miranda's recommendations. Like, she really liked Elizabeth and Her German Garden, and I couldn't stand it. But there's an overlap. I think there's a lot of an overlap. So, in her taste and mine. So I am going to try it, and I have been curious about Eva Ibbotson because that name, I've seen that author's name around. So yeah, so those are my Kindle reads for right now. So yeah. So, and I don't know what I'm going to be able to do in March. This paper is due February 28th. I'm not quite sure. I'm not committing to anything because I'm going to start another class in March. I'm going to start a second 8-week class in March. And right now the date escapes me when it's going to start. Is that March 8th maybe? I'm not sure. Anyway, so I don't want to commit to anything, but they are doing March Mystery Madness, and they're doing this thing of, it's got an international theme, and I'm looking at my books right here, and the next book, wait, I'm taking this out, don't want to knock you over. The next book in my Miss Marple series that I'm reading is A Caribbean Mystery. So I think I would like to read this in March for March Mystery Madness, because she's from a different continent and it takes place in a different country. So I don't think that quite qualifies, but close enough. And I also saw somewhere in here, I have it, I bought it a while ago, and it's Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of... Where is it that I bought that book? Well, anyway, that's also supposedly a mystery, so I might try to read that one too. But I don't know. I'll be studying, so will I have time? I don't know. Anyway, okay, so that's my update. Okay, I'm going to continue my vlogging. I meant to vlog before I left the house because I had my dog with me. So 3 days a week he goes to a doggy daycare because he has a lot of energy, especially in the winter when we can't really walk him as much or he's not outside as much. He gets really rambunctious and stuff. So 3 days a week he goes to this doggy daycare and he gets to run around and play with other dogs and get all his energy out. So anyway, so I dropped him off at that. And then, and in fact, I'm sitting in the parking lot, and I'm going to go to Crate and Barrel. I know it's President's Day, and I don't like to go to shopping malls to begin with, and then they're having sales. But I'm in my continued quest to get rid of plastic in my kitchen. I have a lot more than I thought I did. I thought I had already cleaned out a lot, but anyway, so I have to just get little items. Like I need a new juicer, or like one of those, you know, little hand juice things that you do when you need fresh lemon juice. And I need a new, somehow I lost my pie server. And we've been using this plastic knife, which I want to get rid of instead. And there's just a bunch of little things like that. So that's what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to go home and work on my term paper, maybe get some reading done. And I do have a doctor's appointment at 1:30. Anyway, so that's kind of my day, and I'm going to, this morning I got up and I read The Everlasting Man. I'm into chapter 6 now, and I looked at my my assignment for this week for my class, because they don't open it up until 10:30 Sunday night, so I never look at it Sunday night, but so now I know what reading I have to do, and I'm, you know, I still need to work on that term paper too, so I'm doing both those things this week. And hopefully today I'll get a lot done because I'm not watching my 5-month-old granddaughter or my 4-year-old grandson. So, because we have the day off. So, all right. So that's the lay of the land for me today, and I'll check in later. All right. It is now Tuesday morning. So happy Mardi Gras. We don't usually do much for Mardi Gras, but we are going to have pancakes for dinner. But I just found out I don't have to watch my little grandbaby and grandson because there's a teacher work day. So they're keeping the kids home. I guess my daughter can work from home or something. Anyway, so that was 2 days in a row. because of President's Day yesterday. We've had a lot of holidays. It's been Valentine's Day, President's Day, now Mardi Gras. Lent starts tomorrow. Mardi Gras isn't usually considered a holiday, but you know, it's a celebration, I guess, of some sort. Anyway, I forgot to keep vlogging yesterday. It took longer to do the shopping than I thought, and it took longer at the doctor's. And when I finally got back, it was like 3:30 in the afternoon. I laid down for a while, and then all of a sudden it was time to get up and make dinner. And I did do some schoolwork after dinner, and then I did some already this morning, and now I have an open day because I didn't get as much done as I thought I would. So I have an open day, so I can really get a lot of work done today. So that's really exciting. But I just thought I'd show you a couple of the slops that I did. I had been using this lemon juicer, you know, where you put the half a lemon over it and grate it, and it drips down into a cup or a measuring cup. Forever and ever and ever, and it's plastic. And I just keep thinking about how I was just shedding plastics into the lemon juice I was fresh squeezing. I'm throwing this out. It's really old, and I got this instead. So you put it on here, and it keeps the juice here. I suppose I could put it on top of something else. Maybe not. Anyway, so I got this little thing, and then the other day I was using this potato masher, and I realized, oh, this is made out of plastic. So I went and replaced that one with this. So yeah, just little things, kind of more for peace of mind, I think, because, I mean, the big thing is that everything that you buy is in plastic. Every food you buy is in plastic. So I don't know how I get around that, but at least I'm doing little things, you know. So I don't know. I think that's all we can do at this point. And also I wanted to talk about some things that I've been reading or doing that I have not mentioned yet, I don't think. I started this book, reading this out loud to my grandson, the 10-year-old grandson, over breakfast, just a few paragraphs a day. So we're going very slowly through it. But it's A Life of Our Lord for Children by Mary Gold Hunt. And I read this to my own children when I was homeschooling them. It's put out by Sophia Institute Press. And it's lovely. It's really lovely. Now, it came out in 1939, I believe. And I don't know if it came out with these illustrations, but Sophia Press did a nice job of reproducing it and maybe putting new illustrations in. I'm not sure. Anyway, it's really lovely, and I'm reading it to the 10-year-old, and he's really curious. Like, it's holding his interest, and he's asking questions. Like, we had a whole conversation about lepers. What's leprosy? And just all sorts of things. So yeah, this is a good book to read aloud to kids. Yeah, I really like this one. And then the other thing that we're doing is we have been learning Spanish together at breakfast. This Getting Started with Spanish, I first found out about this series with the Getting Started with Latin. I think that was the very first thing that William Linney put out. And it's really a really easy, gentle way to introduce Latin to young children like 3rd, 4th grade. And it's actually recommended by the Well-Trained Mind, it looks like. And so the 10-year-old was really struggling with his Spanish, mostly because he would just forget to do the homework. So because it was only twice a week, and so he goes to Spanish class on Mondays, and he has homework, and he thinks, oh, I don't have to do that now, right? And then he forgets about it, and then Thursday comes along when he next has the class, and he hasn't done his homework. He's kind of lost. He doesn't even know what he was supposed to do. So I thought I would support him a little bit by doing a little bit of Spanish with him. And this is also very successful. A lot of it's just reinforcing what he already has learned. And I think it just makes him more interested in Spanish. It puts it more on his radar. And so, yeah, so this is a fun thing. I highly recommend this series. I don't know what else they have. The Latin one is very good. And it doesn't say what else they have. And this Spanish one, it's the same exact method. And the method is really brilliant because it's very small, tiny lessons that just slowly build on each other. So by the time you get to the end, you really know quite a lot more than you thought you would, more than you expected to. So I highly recommend this too. So today I guess I'll just work on my papers, and maybe I'll work more in the house. I'm not sure what I'm going to do now that I have a suddenly free day. Anyway, I think I'll probably put this video up. It's probably long enough. I'm already talked 5 minutes. So I hope you have a good Mardi Gras if you celebrate, and a blessed Lent, which begins tomorrow. And I don't know, I think between now and the 28th, I'm just going to be focusing on this paper. And then I'll probably see you in March. All right, so take care. Bye-bye.